Hey guys, I got some disc golf highlights and moments from the Music City Open Round 1 MPO. Check these out. Can Simon win for a third time in a row, winning last year from the chase card? Despite floods and tornado warnings, Round 1 is still a go. The weather today looks alright, nice and sunny.
That looks great.
And plays the skip play, and Simon also has a look uphill.
Austin getting a head start, flipping over rocks, looking for snakes.
A pretty incredible thing to listen to. People.
There was a little hesitation there from Cole, and we can see why.
But when they get slick at the end of the tee pad and everyone's stepping in the same spot, they start to get a little slick at times.
Eagle had a weird first hole, but starts to play very well with this big putt.
Eagle did not get inside the circle. Doesn't matter. Simon's certainly thinking about it.
Simon's not keeping up yet.
He's got such a good putt to serve to give him opportunity. Maybe that's something you can take with you.
Just seems like an easy fix.
Hole 3, Eagle throws this beautiful upshot. Flex forehand, gets the most distance out of the group.
Getting the angle correct is so hard with the headwind ripping through, and he does it. That's fantastic.
That is so good throw.
He's got a tailwind here, so that's going to push this sidearm down.
Plays the hole perfectly.
That was a really overstable.
Simon gets a nice putt from under the trees.
Okay, maybe that was just barely over the rim, but it looked like it was striped when the camera got to it. Either way.
That upshot.
Eagle keeping pace.
Eagle, man.
2 down.
Putts on 2 and 3 were
going into hole 4.
Last year, and now
this is where Simon starts to make his first mistake.
It was not pretty. I basically hit my body pulling through and kind of yanked it low right, straight into the OB. Got away with a bogey, not too bad on that hole.
And Eagle, that birdie is surely going to put him up at the top. Yeah. He is just one back of 3 players who have
hole
birdied.
5.
This is a
Colradallan highlight.
Just let it come in early. If you're going to come in short, this is where you're going to find yourself.
Big birdie putt. Decides to pull out the worm emote in celebration.
And then to cash it in.
Just kind of horseshoed it in there. That was incredible.
I like it.
Yep. Make sure he gets the
Eagle plays hole 5 perfectly.
Here's where it gets real sloppy down there. Eagle might have one decent.
Chris Dickerson does not like the wind today. Just pushing his disc right out of the way.
Looked like he got like a strange gust of wind there. Just dropped his Anheuser out of his hand.
That's what it is. It's a really hard.
Lots of complaints from the weather. The whole field playing in pretty bad conditions.
Incredibly weird drive on one where it looked like he maybe was trying to go hyzer flip and
Eagle
just missed the flip or
taking the lead
or something. But either way, he is now tied for the.
He probably had a 2-foot gap there that he hit. And Chris here
hole 6, Chris Dickerson gets a nice shot from out of the trees.
It is so sticky.
Beautiful roller.
Oh, he's so good at it though. That's so nice.
Oh, sit
so
down.
Nice.
Unfortunately, he misses the putt.
As will Chris. He'll take
and Austin too. Hole 7.
But it's shifting from right to left.
Simon gets caught in the wind and goes OB.
And that's going to be too deep OB for Simon.
So literally the only OB on this. Oh.
Yeah, this is a hole that I'm sure a lot of players, if they did play in the calm, were throwing mids.
Yes.
He's still confident he can make this putt and gives it an attempt.
That's an ambitious run. Hits the skip.
I would have probably laid it up. I'd have been like,
I think most everyone would have.
Don't want to take a double.
Chris is 20 feet.
The other 2 guys want none of it. In these wind conditions, they just lay up.
Same. Sitting 4 under.
Smart play.
Yeah.
Takes 0 seconds to do that. Austin would love
Austin with a nice putt on that hole.
Up the hill.
The only one in the group to get a birdie. And Simon misses again.
Is a hurtful double bogey. He works so hard to get to 2 under quite early.
Falls
obviously.
back to even.
This course is very shreddable, even in the wind like this.
Wow. Cupcake.
They just want to be in bounds.
Hole 8 is a disaster for Simon.
This is a result that so many players did today. I can tell.
Just a bunch of unfortunate events.
Perfect tee shot, but my disc into the headwind just flipped up that bit more than I thought, and then it just held straight. And I went OB long and just threw my second shot from where I went OB because every other hole plays that way. And then I hear from the official that any OB shot off the tee goes to a drop zone. So I misplayed the hole, which basically means I threw a practice throw, and that throw gets eliminated. I get a penalty shot, and I rethrow from the drop zone. Throw to about 30 feet, and then make a pretty sick putt actually up the hill into a raging headwind. Uphill putts into headwind, not the most fun putts. Maybe I should practice more or study caddy books properly.
Kev, talk about the front 9. We got a lot of color.
Simon ends up +1 front 9. Eagle with a clean front 9. Austin and Chris not too far behind him.
Austin Turner at 2 down, Chris at 1 down, and Simon at 1 over. Nobody, like everybody can fix what they've done on the front 9. With
Eagle looking at grenade.
I gotta love it, but there's not great room up there.
And he challenges thinking about Buddy.
I don't think it was the play. There's just so much wind up there. That's the kind of...
This is going to take his first bogey of the round. Hole 12. The Simon foot fault here? I couldn't tell if I was behind the disc or to the right of it.
Technically, he's back to the fairway.
And now he's
to the green.
Right there. I was expecting a pitch out.
Doesn't matter though. Gets no advantage. Hole 13.
That looks like a spot he would not want to be. Here's Eagle lining up a grenade. He's aiming lefter than what I aim.
Executes it perfectly.
And it's not super flippy, but...
Past the gap in the trees. The furthest one out of the group.
Good.
With a beautiful
out in the
shot.
Field.
Plenty good. And look at Eagle. He's avoided all of those gaps with not even that crazy of a grenade shot, in my opinion.
It's just something, another...
Can just like push their disc to the left side of the fairway
Next
here.
hole 14.
They can open up a hyzer to make this hole easy.
Austin's starting to
Do you
heat
not
up.
like where they are?
I think they're left enough, but I'm curious to see.
Oh, so a lot of ground play there. Austin trying to be touchy as well. It's really easy to go long on the second shot.
That was not easy.
The sigh of relief. And
Good putt.
Austin in for birdie, and we are getting
Star frame on hole
an
14.
improbable star frame after Chris's errant second shot. But my goodness, he came up clutch on his third. Great little flexor.
Austin
Such a
catching
little
up to
spin there for
Eagle
Chris.
slowly. Chris is 3 behind Eagle.
Beautiful shot.
But he's going to let everyone know he's still in it with this beautiful shot.
And so I ended up at 40 short.
Straight down the
So
middle,
you
right to the
didn't do
pin.
that.
I did not.
Not birdied a ton.
And if you look closely here, is Austin marking his
Austin
disc
can
with
join
his
our
impact?
Leaders currently at 6.
What is that?
Off right side.
Austin now tied with Eagle, and Chris one behind. After Eagle gets a bogey on that hole from going OB.
Not the most. I mean, it's kind of annoying missing, but like,
Oh, yeah.
that is just like hard to
Hole
hate.
16, another birdie from Austin.
And Austin in for the birdie. Chris with a one finger.
Now takes the lead on the card.
Not that I know of.
I did
I
not
missed
know
it.
that about him.
That would be surprising.
Ricky, who I saw him there is that it's just very tough to make a long putt
Hole
right
17.
No.
Simon doesn't realize how close the OB line is,
That close?
and
now.
unfortunately gets
Wow.
there.
Simon.
This is the big putt for
You
Austin,
can see the stakes there.
and he
falling apart,
falls a
sort of.
bit short.
Oh,
He could have pulled away from the card, but
about such a good shot, but the
just misses.
walk away with at least
Going into hole 18,
this hole is averaging about 1 birdie per group at 25% birdie rate.
Simon with a beautiful shot.
And
We'll finish out
Simon
with a birdie.
gonna finish at even with a ton of birdies. Pretty strange round for your two-time reigning champion.
Avoid all the trees on the right side that could stop you at 60 feet. Am I allowed to give gambling advice?
I don't know.
I think Austin's good money, guys.
I think that's fine to say.
Finishes with birdie.
Oh, not just thinking about it. He's making it on for him at that after hole 5 being 4 down.
I'm looking at the scores here. We got 7, 6, and 5. All of those immediate contenders.
Hopefully the weather holds up and doesn't affect the tournament, but it's not looking too good with thunderstorms in the forecast.